What if I told you that your VO2 max, the single most important predictor of your running performance, can be increased by 15 to 20% in just 8 to 12 weeks with the right training? What if the key to running faster, longer, and with less fatigue isn't logging more easy miles, but strategically attacking your aerobic ceiling with specific workouts that most runners never do? You're about to discover the science-backed training methods that elite coaches use to skyrocket VO2 max in their athletes, and the final workout protocol I'm going to share will push your cardiovascular system to adapt faster than you ever thought possible. But before we unlock the secrets to maximizing your aerobic capacity before the year ends, I need you to do something right now. Smash that subscribe button and hit the like button, because what you're about to learn is the exact roadmap to transforming your running performance through targeted VO2 max training. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you even know what your current VO2 max is? Or are you running blind without understanding your aerobic capacity? I want to know where you're starting from, because that awareness is critical. Welcome to a journey into VO2 max training that's going to revolutionize how you approach running performance. Prepare to discover what VO2 max actually is and why it matters more than almost any other fitness metric, the specific types of workouts that improve it most effectively, and the complete training protocol you can start implementing this week to see measurable gains before the year ends. This isn't theoretical science from a textbook. This is practical, actionable training advice that works for runners of all levels, from beginners to competitive athletes. Over the next several minutes, you're going to learn the physiology of VO2 max, the training intensities and intervals that maximize aerobic adaptation, and the exact workouts elite runners use to push their limits. Before we dive deep, I need to know where you're watching from. Comment right now with your city or country. I absolutely love connecting with runners from around the world right here. And if you haven't already subscribed, do it now and turn on notifications so you never miss content that could be the performance breakthrough you've been searching for. Let's unlock your aerobic potential. First, let's make sure we understand exactly what VO2 max is, because you can't improve what you don't understand. VO2 max stands for maximal oxygen consumption. It's the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during intense exercise. It's measured in milliliters of oxygen per kilogram of body weight per minute. So if your VO2 max is 50, that means your body can consume 50 milliliters of oxygen per kilogram of your body weight every minute during maximal effort. Why does this matter? Because running is fundamentally an aerobic activity. Your muscles need oxygen to produce energy. The more oxygen you can deliver to your working muscles, the more energy you can produce, which means you can run faster for longer. VO2 max is the ceiling of your aerobic system. It's your maximum aerobic capacity. Everything you do while running, from easy jogs to marathon pace to all-out sprints, operates as a percentage of your VO2 max. When you increase your VO2 max, you raise the ceiling, which means all those percentages become faster paces. Here's a concrete example. Let's say your current VO2 max is 45, and your 5K race pace is 8 minutes per mile, which represents about 90 to 95% of your VO2 max effort. If you increase your VO2 max to 52 through targeted training, that same 90 to 95% effort level now corresponds to a pace of maybe 7:30 per mile. You're running significantly faster at the same relative effort. That's the power of improving VO2 max. It doesn't just make you better at running hard, it makes you better at all paces because it raises your entire aerobic system. Elite distance runners have incredibly high VO2 max values, often 70 to 85 for men and 60 to 75 for women. Recreational runners typically range from 35 to 55, depending on training and genetics. The good news is, VO2 max is highly trainable. Yes, there's a genetic component. Some people are born with higher aerobic potential than others. But regardless of where you start, you can improve significantly through proper training. Research shows that untrained individuals can increase VO2 max by 20 to 30% with consistent aerobic training. Even well-trained athletes can still see 5 to 15% improvements with the right stimulus. So whether you're a beginner or you've been running for years, there's room for growth. The key is training at the right intensity with the right structure. This brings us to the core of this video. What kind of training actually improves VO2 max? The answer is high-intensity interval training at or near your VO2 max pace. This is typically the pace you could sustain for about 6 to 8 minutes in an all-out effort. For most runners, this corresponds roughly to their 3K to 5K race pace. It's hard, really hard. You're breathing heavily. You can maybe grunt out a few words, but you can't hold a conversation. Your heart rate is 90 to 95% of maximum or higher. This intensity stresses your cardiovascular system maximally, which triggers the adaptations we want. When you run at VO2 max pace, several things happen in your body. Your heart is beating at or near its maximum rate, pumping blood as fast as it can. This stresses your cardiac muscle, and over time with repeated exposure, your heart adapts. Your left ventricle, the chamber that pumps oxygenated blood to your body, gets stronger and can pump more blood per beat. This is called increasing stroke volume. Your capillary density in your muscles increases. More tiny blood vessels branch out to deliver oxygen to muscle fibers. Your mitochondria, the energy-producing structures in your cells, multiply and become more efficient at using oxygen. Your muscles get better at extracting oxygen from the blood and using it to produce ATP, the energy currency your body runs on. All of these adaptations increase your VO2 max. They allow your body to consume and use more oxygen, which means more energy production, which means faster running. Comment below right now and tell me, have you been doing any high-intensity interval training in your current routine? Or are all your runs at easy or moderate pace? This will tell me if you're already working on VO2 max or if this is going to be a new stimulus for you. Now let's get into the specific workouts that will improve your VO2 max most effectively. The gold standard VO2 max workout is intervals at your 3K to 5K pace with relatively short recovery periods. Here are several proven workout structures you can use. Workout 1. Classic VO2 max intervals. After a thorough warm-up of 10 to 15 minutes easy running plus some strides, run 5 to 6 repeats of 800 meters. That's half a mile at your 5K race pace or slightly faster. Between each 800, recover with 2 to 3 minutes of very easy jogging or walking. The work intervals should feel hard, about an 8 or 9 out of 10 effort. You're breathing heavily, your legs are burning, but you should be able to complete all the repeats at consistent pace. If you're slowing down significantly on the last couple intervals, you went out too hard or you need more recovery. Finish with a 10-minute easy cooldown. This workout stresses your VO2 max repeatedly, forcing your cardiovascular system to operate at maximum capacity multiple times within a single session. Workout 2. Shorter, faster intervals. After warming up, run 10 to 12 repeats of 400 meters. That's one lap of a track or a quarter mile at slightly faster than 5K pace. Recover with 90 seconds to 2 minutes of easy jogging between repeats. These shorter intervals allow you to run a bit faster while still accumulating significant time at VO2 max effort. These brief recoveries keep your heart rate elevated. So even during the recovery jogs, you're still working aerobically at a high level. This is sometimes called accumulation training because you're accumulating minutes at high cardiovascular stress. Workout 3. Longer intervals for advanced runners. After warming up, run 3 to 4 repeats of 1200 meters, that's 3/4 of a mile, at 5K pace or just slightly slower. Recover with 3 to 4 minutes of easy jogging between repeats. These longer intervals are brutal, but they're incredibly effective at pushing VO2 max because you're sustaining that high intensity for longer periods. Each repeat might take 5 to 6 minutes depending on your fitness level, which means you're right in that sweet spot of VO2 max training duration. Workout 4. Hill repeats for VO2 max. Find a hill that takes about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to run up at hard effort. After warming up, run 8 to 10 repeats up the hill at 5K effort or harder. Jog or walk back down. For recovery, hill repeats are fantastic for VO2 max because the incline forces your cardiovascular system to work maximally while also building leg strength and power. You get double benefits. The downhill recovery gives your legs a break while your heart rate stays elevated. Workout 5. Fartlek VO2 max session. After warming up, run a continuous 20 to 30 minute fartlek where you surge to VO2 max pace for 2 to 3 minutes, then recover at easy pace for 2 to 3 minutes and repeat. This is less structured than track intervals but equally effective. The continuous nature means you never fully recover, keeping your cardiovascular system engaged throughout. This can be mentally easier than track work because you're not staring at a clock or counting laps. you're just running. The key principle across all these workouts is that you're spending time at or very near your VO2 max. Research shows that to stimulate VO2 max adaptations, you need to accumulate somewhere between 8 and 20 minutes. Total at VO2 max effort within a single workout. So if you're doing 6 repeats of 800 meters and each one takes you 3 minutes, that's 18 minutes total at VO2 max. Perfect. If you're doing 10 repeats of 400 meters and each takes 90 seconds, that's 15 minutes total. Also perfect. The recovery periods are important because they allow you to repeat the high-intensity effort multiple times. If you just ran continuously at VO2 max pace, you'd probably only last 6 to 8 minutes before exhausting yourself. But by breaking it into intervals with recovery, you can accumulate much more time at that critical intensity. What are you thinking right now? Do these workouts sound doable or terrifying? Drop a comment and let me know your honest reaction. These are hard workouts, but they're manageable with proper pacing and recovery. Now let's talk about how to integrate VO2 max workouts into your overall training schedule, because you can't just do these hard sessions randomly and expect good results. You need structure. For most runners, 1 VO2 max workout per week is optimal. Maybe 2 if you're very experienced and can handle the recovery demands, but 1 is enough for most people to see significant gains. These workouts are extremely taxing. They stress your cardiovascular system, your muscular system, and your nervous system. You need adequate recovery to adapt and improve. Here's what a week might look like if you're running 5 days. Monday, easy run, 30 to 45 minutes at conversational pace. Tuesday, VO2 max interval workout as described above. Wednesday, easy run or rest day. Thursday, tempo run or steady state run at lactate threshold pace, which is comfortably hard, about 15 to 20 seconds per mile slower than 5K pace. Friday, easy run or rest day. Saturday, long run at easy pace. Sunday, rest or very easy recovery run. This structure gives you 1 hard VO2 max day, 1 moderately hard tempo day, and plenty of easy running and rest to recover and adapt. The easy runs are not optional, they're critical. This is when your body actually makes the adaptations we're chasing. The hard workouts provide the stimulus. The easy days and rest allow the adaptation to occur. If you try to go hard every day, you'll just accumulate fatigue without improving. If you're running 6 or 7 days per week, you can add more easy runs, but don't add more hard workouts unless you're very experienced. The ratio should still be roughly 80% easy running and 20% hard running. 1 VO2 max workout per week fits perfectly into this framework. Over the course of 8 to 12 weeks, that's 8 to 12 VO2 max sessions. Research shows this is enough to produce measurable VO2 max improvements, typically 5 to 15% depending on your starting point and training history. Let me give you a specific 8-week VO2 max improvement plan you can start right now. Week 1, 5x 800 meters at 5K pace with 230 recovery. Week 2, 10x 400 meters at slightly faster than 5K pace with 90 seconds recovery. Week 3, 6x 800 meters at 5K pace with 230 recovery. Week 4, recovery week. Do a moderate fartlek or hill session, but not all out. Week 5, 4x 1200 meters at 5K pace with 3 minutes recovery. Week 6, 12x 400 meters at faster than 5K pace with 90 seconds recovery. Week 7, 6 800 meters at 5K pace with 2 minutes recovery, shorter rest than Week 3. Week 8, 5x 1000 meters at 5K pace with 230 recovery. Notice the progression. We're gradually increasing the volume and difficulty. Over the 8 weeks, we're also varying the structure to keep things interesting and to stress different aspects of the VO2 max system. After 8 weeks of this, you test your VO2 max or race a 5K to see your improvement. I guarantee you'll be faster. Now let's address some common questions and concerns about VO2 max training. Question 1. Can I do these workouts on a treadmill? Yes, absolutely. Set the treadmill to your target pace and run the intervals. Use the recovery periods to hop off and rest or slow way down to walk or jog. Treadmills are great for VO2 max work because the pace is controlled. You can't cheat and slow down when it gets hard. Question 2. What if I don't have access to a track? No problem. You can do these workouts on any flat, measured route. Use a GPS watch to track your distance and pace. Roads, bike paths, even treadmills all work. The track is convenient, but not required. Question 3. How do I know what my 5K pace is if I've never raced a 5K? You can easily estimate it. Go to a track or measured route and run a time trial. After warming up, run 1 mile as fast as you can sustain. Your pace for that mile is approximately your 5K pace. You can also use online calculators that estimate your 5K pace based on other race times or training paces. Question 4. What if I can't complete all the intervals at the prescribed pace? That's okay. Start conservatively. If the workout calls for 6x 800 meters but you can only do 4 before your pace falls apart, do 4. Next time, try for 5. Progression is the goal. You don't have to nail the workout perfectly on the first attempt. Question 5. Should I do these workouts on fresh legs or can I do them later in the week when I'm a bit tired? Ideally, you want to be relatively fresh for VO2 max workouts so you can hit the prescribed paces. This is why most runners schedule them early in the week or after a rest day. If you try to do them when you're already fatigued from previous runs, you won't be able to run fast enough to stimulate the VO2 max adaptation we're chasing. Prioritize these workouts. Build your week around them. Think about this for a moment. How motivated are you feeling right now to actually implement this training? Are you ready to commit to 8 weeks of hard VO2 max work? Comment below and make your commitment public. Tell me you're in. Public accountability increases follow-through dramatically. Let's talk about the science of why this works, because understanding the mechanism makes you more likely to trust the process. When you run at VO2 max intensity, you're operating at the edge of your aerobic capacity. Your body is consuming oxygen as fast as it possibly can to produce energy. At this intensity, you're also producing lactate faster than you can clear it. Your muscles are screaming, your lungs are burning. It's uncomfortable. But this discomfort is the signal that tells your body it needs to adapt. Your body is incredibly intelligent. When you repeatedly stress it at this level, it responds by getting better at the thing you're asking it to do. Your heart muscle gets stronger so it can pump more blood per beat. Your blood vessels proliferate so more oxygen-rich blood can reach your muscles. Your mitochondria multiply so your cells can produce more energy aerobically. Your muscles get better at extracting and using oxygen. All of these adaptations take time. You're not going to see massive improvements after one workout, but after 8, 10, 12 sessions over as many weeks, the cumulative effect is significant. Your VO2 max increases. Your running speeds at all intensities improve. You feel stronger and more powerful. Here's something important that many runners don't realize. VO2 max training doesn't just make you faster at 5K distance. It makes you faster at all distances. Even marathon runners benefit enormously from VO2 max work. A higher VO2 max means your marathon pace, which is maybe 75 to 80% of your max aerobic capacity, becomes faster. You're operating at a lower percentage of your ceiling, which means you can sustain it more comfortably for longer. Elite marathoners don't just run slow, easy miles. They do serious speed work and VO2 max intervals to raise their aerobic ceiling. You should too if you want to maximize your marathon performance. This is one of the biggest mistakes recreational marathoners make. They think marathon training is all about long, slow distance. Long runs are important, yes, but without the high-intensity work to raise your VO2 max, you're leaving huge performance gains on the table. Let me share a real example. I worked with a runner who was stuck at a 1:45 half marathon. She was running 30 to 35 miles per week, mostly easy running with one tempo run, no VO2 max work. We added one VO2 max session per week for 10 weeks leading into her next half marathon. Everything else stayed the same. Same mileage, same long runs, same tempo work. We just added that one weekly interval session. Her next half marathon? 1:38. That's a 7-minute improvement from adding one workout per week. Her VO2 max increased, which raised her aerobic ceiling, which made her goal half marathon pace feel easier, which allowed her to sustain it for 13.1 miles. That's the power of systematically improving VO2 max. That could be your story. That improvement is waiting for you if you commit to the work. Now let's address recovery and avoiding overtraining because VO2 max work is hard on your body. You have to balance the stress with adequate recovery or you'll break down instead of building up. After a VO2 max workout, you should feel tired but not destroyed. If you're so wiped out that you can barely function the rest of the day, you went too hard or did too much volume. The next day after a VO2 max session should be easy running or complete rest. Your legs will feel a bit heavy, that's normal. But you should be able to jog comfortably. If you can't, you overdid it. Listen to your body. If you're feeling chronically fatigued, if your resting heart rate is elevated, if you're getting sick frequently, if your sleep is disrupted, these are signs of overtraining. Back off. Take a few extra rest days. Reduce the intensity or volume of your VO2 max workouts. It's better to undertrain slightly than to overtrain and get injured or sick. Nutrition and hydration also play a role in recovery. Make sure you're eating enough to support your training. VO2 max work burns a lot of calories and depletes glycogen stores. Refuel within 30 to 60 minutes after these workouts with carbohydrates and protein. Stay well hydrated throughout the day. Sleep is critical. Aim for 8 to 9 hours per night, especially on the nights after hard workouts. This is when your body repairs and adapts. Skimp on sleep and you're sabotaging your improvements. Treat recovery with the same seriousness as your workouts. They're two sides of the same coin. The workout provides the stimulus. The recovery allows the adaptation. You need both to improve. One more advanced technique for experienced runners who want to maximize VO2 max gains. Altitude training or hypoxic training. Training at altitude or in low oxygen environments forces your body to adapt to producing energy with less available oxygen. This stimulates increases in red blood cell production, mitochondrial density, and capillary development. When you return to sea level, you have these adaptations plus full oxygen availability, which can significantly boost VO2 max and performance. Most of us don't have easy access to high altitude, but there are altitude training facilities and hypoxic tents or masks that simulate altitude. This is definitely advanced stuff and not necessary for most runners. But if you're serious about maximizing VO2 max and you've exhausted other training methods, it's worth exploring. Elite endurance athletes use altitude camps extensively for exactly this reason. Here's your final action plan to increase your VO2 max before the year ends. Step 1. Pick one of the VO2 max workouts I described. Start with the classic 5x 800 meters. Step 2. Schedule it into your week. Pick a day when you'll be relatively fresh, probably early in the week. Step 3. Execute the workout. Warm up thoroughly. Run the intervals at the prescribed pace. Cool down properly. Step 4. Recover. Easy running or rest the next day. Step 5. Repeat weekly for 8 to 12 weeks. Track your workouts in a log or app. Step 6. Test your progress. After 8 to 12 weeks, race a 5K or do a VO2 max test to measure your improvement. I promise you, if you follow this plan consistently, you will see measurable gains in your VO2 max and your running performance. The ceiling will rise. Your speed will increase. Your running will feel stronger and more powerful. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize that VO2 max is just one piece of the performance puzzle. It's an important piece, maybe the most important for distance running, but it's not everything. You also need good running economy, which is efficiency. You need mental toughness. You need proper recovery and injury prevention. You need consistency over months and years. VO2 max training fits into a holistic approach to becoming a better runner. Don't neglect easy running. Don't skip strength training. Don't ignore mobility and recovery work. But do add systematic VO2 max training to your program because it will unlock performance gains you can't achieve any other way. The science is clear. High-intensity interval training at VO2 max pace is the most effective way to increase your aerobic capacity. Now you know what to do. The only question is, will you do it? Here's what I need from you before you go. First, leave a comment telling me which VO2 max workout you're going to try first. Are you starting with the classic 800-meter repeats, the 400-meter intervals, the hill repeats? Make your choice and commit to it publicly. Second, if this video gave you a clear, actionable plan to improve your VO2 max and running performance before the year ends, smash that like button so more runners can discover this science-backed training approach. Third, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because I'm constantly creating content that will make you a faster, smarter, more knowledgeable runner. And finally, I've got another video ready for you that breaks down lactate threshold training and how it complements VO2 max work to create complete aerobic development. Click the video on your screen right now and keep learning. You now have the blueprint to increase your VO2 max and transform your running performance. The training is hard, but the results are worth it. Now get out there and raise that ceiling. I'll see you on the roads.